This week, Murdered, Sole Suspect shows the most difficult murder to solve is your own. Mad Max brings new life to an open-world wasteland, and we find out all about free-to-play MMO Firefall, which has finally entered open beta. This is Player Attack. But first, the latest gaming news, and it seems this week everything is happening in pairs. First off, a surprise from San Diego Comic-Con, where audiences were given a sneaky peek at the sort of thing we can expect from Warcraft, the upcoming movie from Legendary Pictures. The video has been described as a mood piece designed to represent the look and feel of the Warcraft movie in broad strokes. Those broad strokes include a human warrior, an angry orc, and Hellfire Peninsula. Director Duncan Jones has explained that he is excited to enter the world of Azeroth. Production on Warcraft starts in 2014. Another cinematic project in the spotlight is indie game The Movie, which has been out for just over a year now. True to form, the film has gotten an expansion pack, a special edition containing hours of new footage and a special look at what happened next. The original film was released back in 2011 and plenty of stuff has happened since. The directors have added more than 100 minutes of new short films and extra commentary tracks from Team Meat, and if you pick up the box set version, you can have more than 10 hours of extra content across 3 discs, plus artwork, plus cool stuff. Head to indiegamethemovie.com for more details. More pairings come to us from the world of comics. Plants vs. Zombies has been given the inky treatment thanks to the team at PopCap Games and Dark Horse. Plants vs. Zombies Lawnmageddon is available to download right now, and it is absolutely free. Crazy Dave, his niece Patrice, and young adventurer Nate Timely must fend off a fun dead neighbourhood invasion in this 6-part series created by Paul Tobin and Ron Chan. Currently available exclusively on iOS, there is a hardcover edition on the way a little later in the year. Mad Max is also getting his own motion comic designed to tie in with the upcoming game from Avalanche Studios. The new project tells the story of Max meeting his now trusted mechanic Chumbucket. For old school fans, it's a way to ease back into the post-apocalyptic landscape, and for newcomers, it is a great introduction to the world of Mad Max. The story's in good hands too, with Australian writer Tom Taylor, who wrote the comic adaptation of Injustice: Gods Among Us. Jason Sean Alexander is illustrating, who you may know from Legends of the Dark Knight, and he promises the same gritty version of Max that we know and love. Then bad news comes in twos. Sony has confirmed that it would be closing down servers for MAG, SOCOM 4 US Navy SEALs, and SOCOM US Navy SEALs Confrontation in early 2014. If you like those games, you better play them now. The multiplayer components will be terminated officially from January 28, 2014, and in the case of 2010's MAG and the 2011 SOCOM Confrontation, that means the entire game is effectively dead. That's still better fortune than pirate MMO Cartuga, however. Publisher InnoGames has announced that a shift in priorities mean the browser-based adventure has been axed before even making it out of beta testing. The news also sees the closure of developer Ticking Bomb Games as InnoGames moves on to a more cross-platform focused business model. Back to some good news though, and 2 old school classics have been rescued from the scrap heap. Wargaming has picked up the right to Total Annihilation at a recent auction of Atari properties. This news itself isn't so shiny until you remember that Wargaming also picked up Chris Taylor and Gas Powered Games back in February, and that Chris is, of course, the creator of Total Annihilation. With these 2 puzzle pieces reunited, is there a sequel in the works? At PAX Australia over the weekend, Gearbox Software discussed a game that it had picked up at a bankruptcy auction. This time, THQ back in April. 3 months later, the studio is now able to talk about its plans, so we can report that a polished up, high-res version of the original game is on its way. Stay tuned for more details on Homeworld HD. More good news, new features for 2 great games. Spelunky developers have announced that when the game launches on Steam next month, fans will be treated to a new daily challenge mode, as well as the standard game. Each day, a new level will be randomly generated and available to play for just 24 hours. There are, of course, challenge-specific leaderboards and prizes for the best performance, but once the level expires, it's never coming back. New levels are a little bit longer lived in Rayman Legends, however, with developers Ubisoft confirming that 40 gameplay stages from last year's Rayman Origins will be transferred into the upcoming sequel. The old new levels are being revamped and polished up to better suit the high-quality graphics of Rayman Legends, but the gameplay remains the same. A couple more nifty details, these extra levels will be playable from the first time you load up the game, and they are not required to complete Legends. If you don't want to play them again, you don't have to. And finally this week, a pair of lovely Minecraft models on the way from LEGO. Apparently last year's set just wasn't enough, forcing the team at Mojang and LEGO to put their heads together and come up with a couple more. The Nether includes a netherrack, gravel, flowing lava, bedrock, 2 ghasts and a zombie pigman, while the village lets you build houses, grow crops and beware the mines with a pig, villager and zombie figurine thrown in. Each of the microscale kits can be broken up into 4 sections and completely refigured for different player experiences. Remember, these are real LEGO sets. You can build them into whatever you want. Both sets are available from September 1st in all good nerdy toy shops and various online outlets. For more details and to keep up to date with the latest gaming news, head to playerattack.com. But for now, stick around, we've got plenty more still to come.
Landmines and deployable turrets online.
Okay, pack up and regroup at drop site.
Roger that. I'm coming in.
Hey, call in the Thumper.
So Firefall is an open world shooter. So first and foremost, we are a shooter. That means skill-based gameplay. It takes place in a sci-fi world, so we've got jetpacks and explosions and really cool sci-fi-ness to it. It's kind of in a post-apocalyptic world, but not like you would expect to see in a post-apocalyptic world. With a lot of bright colors, a lot of things that are happening. But the world has been encapsulated in what's called the melding, and it's kind of an alien entity that's taken over the world. And so humanity's fighting back against it, but we didn't want to make a place where you dreaded going into, so we want to make sure you had fun every time you went into it. So Firefall is a shooter. We have all the core mechanics. We have 15 different battle frames that you wear, and that's basically the equipment that you wear that determines kind of your class. And you can switch freely between these in the game. So it's not like a normal MMO where you pick a class at the start and you're stuck with it for the rest of your time. You can change, and I personally play 7 different battle frames, kind of just mix and match what I want to do. So you progress those battle frames and get better and better equipment. You can go do different missions. You can group up with people and kind of have this whole co-op experience, along with a competitive esports PvP mode to it as well. And that doesn't even include all the future plans like open world PvP, army bases, and more content.
So even though it is in open beta now, and you know, most people, they enter open beta and it basically means we've done with it. We're not really going to change much. This is just, you guys have a look and we'll see if there's anything that really needs fixing. You guys are still actively changing the game.
Absolutely, and we hopefully never stop doing that either. That's one of the things that's great about MMOs is they constantly improve and they constantly change. But in recent years, a beta has basically meant a marketing beta. You release it really as a demo and players play it. You may have a few bugs and you kind of fix those up. That's not true with us. We've done core system overhauls throughout our beta, which completely changes the game. And then we're going to do the same thing in open beta. Hopefully we've got our core systems locked down so that those systems don't change, but that our content is what's really changing. So we've just released a lot of new content, got a lot of great feedback on it. We're going to be making changes to that, adding more and more to it, as well as additional battle frames and, like I said, open world PvP and huge systems that aren't online yet, because we treat our beta like a true beta. We want to release features in a state where people can still give feedback and we can make changes on that. We don't want to release something and then see people go, oh, wasn't very fun, and we're too late. It's too late. We can't change anything. But Red 5 does things differently. We do a true beta. So our beta actually has changed over time. The game has completely changed through player feedback, through changes that we wanted to make. And so it's a little bit different. We're releasing content as we go. And so open beta is the same thing for us. We're now open, so we have, like you said, open the floodgates, and we've been getting a great response from a lot of more people. We actually had to implement player queues on our system for the first time ever because we didn't expect so many people, which is a great thing and a bad thing at the same time. But it's been really great to see all these new players, get a lot more feedback, and that open beta process will just continue for quite a while.
As you say, the game has been it's been in development for ages. I mean, we spoke to you guys years ago about the game that was meant to be coming out then. How much has it changed? What the game that people can play now compared to, say, the game that they were able to play, 2 years ago?
2 years ago, when we first started open beta, we had one PvP map, and that's all you could play. 5 versus 5 team deathmatch. Didn't have an open world, didn't have any missions, didn't have any leveling, it didn't have any different types of equipment, only had 3 battle frames. Now we've got 15 battle frames, we have a huge open world, we've got hundreds of missions, we've got dynamic world events, we've opened up 3 new melding pockets most recently, we've got our first instance type that just came into the game where you can go through a 5-man instance, kind of like a raid or dungeon. It's been crazy. So a lot changes in 2 years, and that doesn't even include the complete overhauls to core systems, like our crafting systems got overhauled twice, our progression system got overhauled twice, and that's all through player feedback and things that have changed, so it's really good.
You touched briefly on esports. I believe you guys have got a Korean connection. Can you elaborate a bit on that?
Well, so we do have Red 5 Korea, which is a subsidiary of ours that works in Korea, but our esports right now is really in its fledgling state. We actually just announced a tournament with ESL, so there's esports league from Europe, and they also have in North America the national ESL. So we're actually just starting off the Go for Firefall tournaments, where people can play every week and earn cash prizes, and then work their way up to a monthly, they qualify for a monthly tournament at the end, which much bigger cash prizes. And we're just kind of feeling it out to see what we do there, because we just released our first real esports mode. Previously, we only had team deathmatch and some larger maps, 15 on 15, 7 versus 7. But we really wanted to focus on a 5v5 objective-based map, and so we've created Jet Ball, which is basically like a mixture of hockey and soccer, where you take a ball and you've got to score in your opponent's hoop, and you've got to move it down the field, as well as killing people, because it is a shooter. So it's a lot of fun. We're seeing some really great tactics come out of that, and I can't wait for the tournaments to actually start.
So people right now can play Firefall in open beta. Dare I ask if you guys have any idea when we might be able to pick this one up on retail?
Well, so like I said, open beta is very important to us, and that we get feedback from people. And so we're going to keep doing that process until we feel we kind of reach the saturation point of we're done with beta. And when can we actually release that tag? As with most free-to-play games, once you're in open beta, it's pretty much open to everybody. We're already monetizing the game. People can play it. So some people consider that released. We still consider it very much a beta. And we want feedback. We want people to come into the game and tell us what's changing. And we're going to constantly be releasing more and more things. When that will actually change from an open beta to a released product, don't know. That's a very much an open thing, and everybody in the office would love to have a specific date to work towards. But I think it's really important, first and foremost, to make the best game we can, and then decide at what point that label changes, because that's all it really is a label. You can download it at firefallthegame.com, and it's completely free to play. There's nothing, and that's really important to us as well, is to not sell content and not to sell power. So it's cosmetics and convenience only. We'd love to have some money from you guys to help support the team. We're a very small team at Red 5. You've been to the studio, so it's really important for us to work directly with our community and help build the community Firefall.
Detectives aren't supposed to get bloody knuckles, but I've done a lot of things I wasn't supposed to do. I lived through it all. Beatdowns, the backstabbing, disrespect most people wouldn't see in 10 lifetimes. And I never lost a fight. Until now.
Hey man, what are you doing? Hey! Move away from the body now! What the fuck is this? Hey, did you hear me? Michael. Hey, no!
So yeah, this is a game about solve your own murder case as a ghost detective. So gameplay-wise, it's a action adventure, and we have variety of gameplay like investigation, combat, traversal, puzzle, and of course exploration side quest thing. So we are making very unique action adventure game.
Look, I'm just following Captain's orders here. You know the procedure when a family member is... Yeah, no. Take all the time you need, LT.
Don't worry, brother. Remember, ghosts never die. And do me a favor, con man. Tell Julia I miss her.
She knows, Rex. She knows.
This one has been in development for a little while now, hasn't it? We just because we've only started to hear about it now. How long have you been working on it?
It's a couple of years, like 2000.
Very quietly.
Yeah, it takes a lot of iteration and prototyping to come up this concept. Yeah.
Hey, how the hell did it come back? Did I do that? Hey, come back! Great. Looks like some sort of code or something. All right, well, I'm headed up to the 4th floor before the police cart away the evidence.
Why did you decide to be so very different? What inspired it?
Okay, yeah, basically, when I start this project, I really want to create innovative, unique experience with AAA genre, AAA quality. So a lot of innovative games come from like indies or mobile platforms, but I believed we can still create innovative experience in AAA game genre. So that's my motivation. Then I came up this idea, and it started as movie Die Hard meets a movie Ghost. So that is beginning of this project. So you can't see Bruce Willis in our project, but yeah, that is our origin. Yeah.
I was going to mention the movie Ghost, but I wasn't sure if you would be insulted by being compared to a romantic film.
Yeah. So yeah, that is just beginning of our project. So right now you can see more mystery, investigation feeling. So yeah, it takes a lot of iteration. Then we finally came up this concept. Yeah.
Hey, Sarge. 1019. Please return to the scene.
10-4.
This is what remains. Morality, justice, mercy. They don't exist anymore. Hope is dead. Glory is lost. consumed by everything that surrounds us. Now these streets are paved towards nowhere.
Well, Mad Max is a third-person action title set in a vast wasteland based on the Mad Max IP. Basically, the player will obviously take on the role of Max, and early on in the game, he'll be losing the iconic interceptor, I'm afraid to say. But that's a great opportunity for us because Max will actually meet Chumbucket, who's a bit of a wasteland legend in his own right. He's an excellent mechanic that's well known throughout the wasteland. And the two align of sorts. They have sort of common goals, and Chumbucket will be able to help Max build the ultimate war machine.
Won't somebody tell me an answer if you can? I want someone to tell me what is the soul of a man?
For us, it was really important to get the feel right, to get the art direction right, to kind of get the mood. But then we also wanted to develop our own story and our own characters apart from Max. So that I think the key part that we took away from KMM and working with them was the overall mood setting and feel as well as art direction, and what they expected to be the core principles of Max. The challenge really is in terms of keeping the wasteland varied, to make sure that the wasteland is varied and not a dull grey all the way through. I mean, obviously, Just Cause 2 and previous titles that we've done obviously have a lot more foliage, a lot more green, a lot more colour in it. So we're trying to achieve the same thing through other materials and obviously man-made structures and things like that. The game is single player only, principally because it's based on Max and Mad Max. We thought about multiplayer, but then which role would a second player take on? Which role would a co-op partner take on? So we really wanted to focus on a deep narrative experience and presenting that to one player, and that felt like the right thing to do. To us, open world games traditionally offer a lot of gameplay variety anyway. So we don't feel the need, we don't feel under pressure to add a multiplayer just to extend the gameplay experience or extend the gameplay time. What we aim to do is provide enough fun and chaotic and challenging gameplay within an open world setting so that the player will never feel the need to go to multiplayer. It's due for 2014, and we're releasing on the PS4, the Xbox One, as well as PS3 and Xbox 360 and the PC.
Before this, we were taught it took a hero to change things. But we never got a hero. We got him. The man they call Max.
And that's about it for this edition of Player Attack. Thanks for watching. Next week is an experiment in extremes. Wolfenstein: The New Order takes us to a world where the Nazis won World War II and BJ Blazkowicz has lain in a coma for more than a decade. Then, in case that gets too heavy, we turn to the award-winning combination of comics and Lego for an update on Lego Marvel superheroes. In the meantime, you can catch us on playerattack.com. We're on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter, and if you've got something you want to say, send us an email, mailbox@playerattack.com. Till next week, I'm Jessica Citizen, and this is Player Attack.